Me and the boys was sitting around drinking, we was talking about things that we was thinking, when all of a sudden what comes out of Bill's mouth? Said I'm getting old and fat and slow, and I don't recover like I did before from nights of rabble, rousing and too much fun. Well, I looked around and we all agreed, and I had a drink and I ordered 3, and I staggered back to do it all again. Then we made an oath on a rum and coke with the best intention, I'm sure you know, that we would stop this living in excess. We're gonna have one more party, one more special occasion. Do it Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, holidays and weekends. We can have one more party. There's more hell we should be raising. One more party now, one more party tonight.
Alright guys, let's say I think I finally figured out what's wrong with this shifter. I've been doing a lot of research on it, and what I've been finding out is that if this is too loose, because there's supposed to be a wavy washer in here that kind of gives tension on it, what will happen is the pin that's inside of here and slides between these two levers it'll just shift, it'll slip out and then lock itself into place. So the key thing for this thing to work properly and not pop or lock itself into gear is for this shifter to be snug inside of this C thing. So there are 2 bolts that are holding it on. Well, it's kind of looks like it's something that wraps around there, around the drive, or around the steering column. So it's kind of a U bolt that holds this whole thing in place. Then there's a couple little, pins that go through these things. So you don't really have to adjust this to take this off of here, this whole assembly off of here. It looks like you just take off that C-clamp, take loose these 2 things, and slide it off the shaft. And then we got to figure out how we're going to make this thing so that it is snug inside of the C thingy there. So, well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these 2 pins out. I'm going to take these 2 nuts off. I'm going to take this whole thing out. And then we'll take it over the bench and see how that works. Alright, to give you an understanding of what's in there, there's a clip that looks like that holds onto a washer. And then these things go through that lever. And then on the back side of there is this wavy washer that kind of holds it all steady. So there's 2 of those in there, so it's pretty much the same. Okay guys, I'm going to give you a quick lesson on what I learned from taking this out. 1, you got to remove the U-joint, otherwise it will not fit around these flanges. 2, you have to remove the Zerk because it locks into the first reverse gear and keeps the pin from falling out with this dealy-wop here, this little round piece of metal that kind of holds everything in place. Then you have to rotate this piece of metal around until these things are lined up with the pin. There's the pin. Then you have to remove the pin from here, otherwise it won't slide out. Then when it comes to this flange, it will not rotate nicely and slide out. So use the steering wheel to your advantage. I used the steering wheel, turned it like 10 degrees, and it popped right out. So now that I have it completely apart, Let's see what we can do to tighten it up. Clean it up and then tighten it up. Alright, now that I've taken it apart, there's the mounting bracket. There's the oversized washer on the bottom. There's the third and second shifter lever. There's the retainer ring. There's the first and reverse shifter lever. There's a large washer, and there's a bracket that kind of just sits in here to kind of keep things snug. So what are we missing? Well, the wavy washer that holds this and this together. I don't know what happened to it. It must have broke and fell out or something, but I think I'm going to clean this up, and then I got to figure out something to replace the wavy washer so that it fits snugly inside of this area. So I'm just going to get up to cleaning. You guys probably don't care to watch that. But, oh, and then the U-bolt. Wanted to point out that they're using lock washers on that. So, half-inch nut, lock washer, and a U-bolt that holds this whole thing to the steering column. Okay guys, I made me a new washer. Made it a little bit wavy so that it kind of snugs itself up. And maybe I need to make it a little bit wavier, but now when I put this in here and I put this other washer on the opposite side, it sits in there and everything is relatively snug. So let's put it back together and find out how that works. Okay guys, I got it all back in there. One thing that you might want to think about is use a screwdriver when you're trying to line everything back up when you're sliding it back in there. The other thing was make sure, well, the easiest way to get it back in there again is to spin the steering wheel to pop it back into place. And then there's a little notch down here in the bottom of this thing to line it up with the steering column. So you can pretty much line it up, everything lines up exactly the way it used or should be. But now it's much snugger than it was. I don't know if there should be a bushing on this other side or not, but we'll have to test it out and see just how good it is. But I ended up putting a washer here, and I took the washer from this side and I put it on the other side. So here, I'll show you kind of how it goes. What do you think, guys? Now that I've snugged it back up, is it working the way it's supposed to? Now I got it in reverse. Pop it right into neutral. That easy. Talk to you guys later. Alright guys, shall we take her for a spin around the block and see how she does? Let's see, which one is this? I think it's this. Hey, I got the right one. Alright, good. It's been a while since I've driven this, so let's take her out. Says it's in neutral. Still in neutral, so hey, I got that set right. That should be reverse. If I can keep it running. It's cold, so hey, amp meter goes up, so I think we got juice. I'm in reverse. Maybe give it a little more choke. Hey, it backs up. Brakes are still working. Let's try first. Ah, died. Parking brake. Whoops. Don't release the clutch at first, huh? Let's get this thing warmed up. First. Alright, I got into first. Let's go back to reverse. Don't like the stumbling or stuttering when I try to take off. That's getting better now that it's warming up. All right. Let's go take it around a corner here. See if we can come to a stop here. Ooh, I got out of third. That's a good sign. I wasn't able to do that before. Now let's see if I can get into reverse. Yep, slipped right in. electrical next, apparently. There you have it, guys. It looks like I got the blinker working now. Or not the blinker, the shifter working now. What do you guys think? Looking good? Alright, talk to you guys later.
Me and the boys was sitting around drinking, we was talking about things that we was thinking, when all of a sudden what comes out of Bill's mouth? Said I'm getting old and fat and slow, and I don't recover like I did before from nights of rabble, rousing and too much fun. Well, I looked around and we all agreed, and I had a drink and I ordered 3, and I staggered back to do it all again. Then we made an oath on a rum and coke with the best intention, I'm sure you know, that we would stop this living in excess. We're gonna have one more party, one more special occasion. Do it Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, holidays and weekends. We can have one more party. There's